Hey guys, Brandon here from Airsoft19. A lot of people have been requesting like a video for my KWA LM4, and I don't know if you could tell, but I'm pretty unhappy because something internally is kind of messed up with it. I'll get into that later. But you guys were wondering about like how it's looking and everything like that, and I guess you could say I'm done with it, but I'm not shooting it or anything like that because something's messed up in here, and I'll get into that. So if you guys are just interested in seeing how it looks with the UBR stock, I don't know how well you can see that, but as you can see I got the little UBR stock with the little trap open door and everything, and you could open this door. So yeah, the Magpul version LM4 with the UBR stock. What I was planning on doing, and what I kind of did, but I took it back off, I put a rail under here. I did not like the Magpul one, just like a regular rail. I got like a screw and a washer, and it held it in place really good. But when I was shooting it, the recoil knocked it loose, so I just took it off. So it's basically just a KWA LM4 with nothing too fancy on it right now other than the UBR. And what I'm going to do with it to make it look kind of more like a DMR, and hopefully I could get it working again, is probably put a, I'm wearing a black shirt so I don't know how well that blends in with this, but I'm probably going to put a flip up red and green dot scope. So with that on there, it looks like I could aim a little bit more. So this basically has no zoom on it. It's just a flip up red and green dot scope. I don't know how well I could show like some kind of scope view, but there's like no crosshairs or anything. It's just a red dot with like different brightness and a green dot. So it looks pretty cool like that, you know. And another thing, I am not going to be putting on the black side suppressor anymore. I actually got a Surefire, Surefire mock suppressor, the longest version. That's basically just a slip-on and lock version. It's pretty cool, and I got that on there, and it looks pretty sweet with it. So with that on there, it kind of completes the DMR look to it. So I think it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it, but the reason I don't look too happy, and now is when I'm going to get into the details of what's wrong with it. I don't really want to test it because it's getting worse and worse. But I guess this is going to be more of an LM4 update and a LM4 problem video, so it's kind of a weird mix. But I'm going to put it up on the gun wall real quick, just so you guys could get a good look at it, because it might be blending in with my shirt. I can't really tell. Let me just put it up here. So you guys could get a pretty good idea of how it looks. I'm going to get behind the camera here and zoom in on it. So the Surefire suppressor, and all the Magpul furniture, the scope, and the UBR stock, I think it adds a pretty cool look to it all. Alright, so as far as the problem, and it has nothing to do with the stock or the buffer tube or anything like that, so it's basically not my fault, it's KWA engineering, so I'm pretty unhappy about it. So it seems like when I try to pull the bolt back to let a magazine in or something, it doesn't go back as far. Like, it's hard to explain, but I'm going to try to focus the camera in for me to get closer. You can see the lighting's pretty bad, but it's like, it feels almost like it's a closed bolt, but it does open up all the way. I'm trying to get the lighting on it. Hope you guys can see it good, but I open it up. It seems like this lever right here just doesn't want to go back as far. It's really weird. I've tried to disassemble it, see what's in there, and nothing. So it's just it's weird. It's not going back as far, and I don't know what's stopping it. So when I put a mag in there, I just put it in there and I rack it back to start shooting. The bolt gets stuck just right here, and it only gets unstuck if I take the mag out, and it goes back forward. I know it's probably confusing trying to follow with what I'm saying, but like, just all it is this right here doesn't go back as far, and when the magazine's in there and I release it, it gets jammed, so it's catching on something on the mag. And now I'm going to show you examples. Okay, I think that's as clear as I'm going to get the camera, but I want you to focus on that little shiny part right here, the part that feeds up on the thing. See how this is a good magazine. See how it just is nice and like in the shape it's supposed to be. When we get a mag that's been doing a lot of dry fire and everything, you can see it doesn't really have the same shape. It's kind of just ran through right in there. It might look like it, but if I could get that same camera angle, let me try to get the mags side by side. So as you can see, it seems like one seems like it's been through a lot of wear and tear, and the other one looks good. So this one's the one that's going through the wear and tear, and this one's the one that's not, that haven't been put through the gun yet. And it's not the mags, it's the gun that just wants to, that's not working correctly. So I want to try to explain myself better. It's not only that it doesn't seem to go back as far and that it's jamming right here, but even if I wrap it back, then put a mag in there, even with some BBs, it'll shoot the BBs. By the time the BBs are gone, it's still shooting, it just won't lock back. And each time it dry fires, it chips off a piece of that bit of the mag. That's what I was showing you earlier. So I hope that kind of makes sense now. So yeah, a lot of people have been like getting mad and like inboxing me saying, hey, I thought you were going to do a shooting video, and I was, and then I'm starting getting some problems with the LM4. So I love KWA. As far as my SR10, I still love that thing. I'm using it a lot. In fact, everything on here except the stock is probably going to be put on my KWA SR10. Like as John J. Rainbow once said, I was kind of starting to switch to gas blowback rifles. First experience with a gas blowback rifle, it's not really too good, so maybe I'll just stick with my KWA SR10. I'm not too sure, but I'm not saying don't get the KWA LM4. I think I just got a defective one, to be honest, and I maintained this one perfectly. Like after each shooting session, I would disassemble it and just clean it up just like the manual told me, and just like the Jedi told me. I would clean it with some silicone oil and everything. I maintained it perfectly, and here it is giving me a lot of problems. Well, by a lot of problems, it's just that one, but that's a big problem. So I think I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna start working on my SR10. Start making that into more of a DMR. So if you guys are interested in that, then stay tuned. But as far as the KWA SR10, or as far as the KWA LM4, I think it's just gonna stay on the wall and look pretty. So I'm going to get my KWA SR10 and show you guys what it would look like with all this cool stuff on there. Alright guys, so here is my KWA SR10 with everything that was supposed to go on the LM4 put on this thing, and it's making me kind of want to use my SR10 a little bit more. So as you can see, I hope it's not blending in with my shirt, it looks really cool. It looks intimidating. So it's just a stock KWA SR10 with a small little GoPro mount on the stock, the same scope, a vertical grip, a Harris bipod, and the Surefire mock suppressor. So all of it looks pretty cool. The only thing that kind of I don't like, well, it does have the battery back here, but I kind of want to get a fixed stock on here. So yeah. So I think with that entire thing, with a fixed stock, would look very cool. And I guess I'll have a little contest for you guys real quick. If you guys could find me a fixed stock, a link to a fixed stock, that you know you guarantee that a fixed stock would fit on this. I'm talking about like a fixed stock, like, you know, on M16s, like the older versions, kind of like, just to make it look like a more of a DMR, because this right here is adjustable. I want a fixed stock. If you could send me a link that has a fixed stock that could fit on the KWA SR10, you guarantee it, I'll give you a shout out video, and yeah, just give you a shout out video. And if you're already entered in my contest, my giveaway contest, I'll give you a second entry. So if you could find me a fixed stock for this, I'll hook you up with a shout out and a second entry. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.